What's the purpose of an MRO storeroom? Why is it important to have an MRO storeroom? Why does it get such a bad rep?
Yeah, right on. Look, we can have the most talented maintenance group in the world, and we can have the best maintenance planners and the schedulers in the world. But look, if I can't get you the right materials, then we're going to remain in a reactive state forever. So my definition of an MRO storeroom is risk mitigation. That's exactly what I say, is risk mitigation. So the sole purpose of a spare parts warehouse is to ensure that we have the right parts at the right time to support the operation and the assets of the company. Companies struggle with what is the right amount of inventory. Based on my experience, 58% of a typical storeroom inventory has not been touched in over 3 years. Again, that's a lot of cash that's being tied up. Of the remaining 42% of active inventory, all right, meaning my definition of active is that we have at least one inventory a year, 60% of that is overstocked. And again, the easiest thing that we can do with our min-max levels when we run out of something is to jack those min levels up. So that's why we're experiencing this 60% of overstock. Now, I'm certainly not saying that the 58% of inventory is obsolete. I'm not. There are many reasons for that inventory. Some of it's classified as critical spares, some are based on our supplier issues, some materials are no longer available from those suppliers. I have never been asked to conduct an assessment of an MRO storeroom in order to recommend reducing the size of that warehouse. Okay, quite the opposite. It's 100%. They bring me in to do this assessment. I do the assessment, and then at the end, they said, okay, Andy, how much more space you think we need? If we give you more space, what are you going to do with it? So there is an optimal inventory value to optimize the operation. Anything over that value is throwing good money at just in case inventory. But more importantly, anything less than that value, we're exposing the organization unnecessary risk. Now, that's the tactical inventory value that we need to identify, which is out there. It's a challenge, but we need to understand what that value is. Strategically, how do we manage that inventory? Okay, do we implement vendor managed inventory? Do we do consignment? Do we put in place supplier agreements? I'm a strong advocate for, do we put in MRO vending machines strategically placed around the facility? I suggest that we convert the MRO storeroom into a profit center. And that's by ensuring that we have the right inventory, okay? And if we have the right materials at the right time to the right specifications, which is important, and I'll talk about that perhaps later on, then by default, we're going to impact this thing called mean time to repair, which essentially adds value back into the organization.